Y'all know I've had my share of haters. I mean, I've not even had my channel for 2 years, yet I need both hands and some of my toes to count the people who would not invite me over for tea unless they poisoned my cup. And these aren't people who were involved in any of the crimes I've talked about either. They're sideline people. And the ones who have genuinely disliked me have always been on the side of the criminal. Until now. There is someone involved in the Troy Taylor case, and she's a sideline character. And I'm going to extend enough grace to her to not use her actual name. Let's call her Laurel. By the way, did you know that mountain laurel is highly poisonous and that if bees have collected nectar from the flowers, their honey is poisonous too? It's just a little botanical FYI. Laurel contacted me at the beginning of last June and wrote, quote, Agatha, I have independently been investigating Robert Troy Taylor since 2021. I just watched your video on his involvement with the Micah Miller case. I would love to connect with you. I think we have very valuable information we can discuss. I am a Myrtle Beach native now living in the upstate. I decided to pursue my career in law and child advocacy after learning about Taylor's actions/case. I think we might be able to shine more light on the Miller case and hopefully ensure Taylor is put back behind bars. End quote. So the first thing that set me off about Laurel is that she referred to Micah as Micah Miller, not Micah Francis. And I know that other people have continued to use her married name, but I don't like it. I'm just weird like that. I know that Micah didn't want to be married to Moldy Toes and didn't want to have his last name. Now, I'll fully admit that this could be a flaw of mine and not others. When I read her message, I thought she was an attorney because she made it sound like she's an attorney. Then I learned that Laurel had reached out to someone else about Troy Taylor and told them that I had contacted her, which wasn't true because until she messaged me, I had no idea she even existed. So Laurel wasn't winning a lot of points from the get go with me. I messaged her and told her I'd get back to her the next week because I was busy with another case. And the case I was busy with was the Heather Turner case, and I made several episodes about it. And I'll be the first to admit that when I'm working on a case, I can get tunnel vision to the point that that particular case is the only thing on my mind. I am locked in. So I completely forgot about Laurel's message. A couple of months later, someone left a comment on one of my videos and told everyone that I love true crime, but I won't stand up for victims, and that she presented me with a chance to make a difference and I failed to return her message. Then she suggested that my channel was only for people who thrive on learning about true crime, and insinuated that none of us give a damn to actually do something about the victims. Except her exact words came across as super self righteous. So then I was like, okay, bitch. But I was nice when I commented back and said, quote, Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what chance you're referring to. Unfortunately, I do forget now and again, so if I don't get back to you in a reasonable time, please just message me back. I will disagree that what I or other true crime content creators do isn't helping bring justice to victims. We all have different ways we help. End quote. I had to go look through my messages to figure out that the commenter was Laurel. And she had left another darling message that read, Hey Agatha, so much for last week, huh? Now this was 2 months later. So then I added some adjectives between the okay and the bitch. Then 2 months later, Laurel asked a mutual contact if they had my phone number and said she needed to contact me ASAP. Excuse me? But the contact didn't have my number because nobody does. Then I started wondering why Laurel needed my phone number. She could have easily contacted me a myriad of ways, but she didn't. She wanted my phone number. Of course, I didn't give it to her because no thank you, crazy lady. I mean, someone who has the nerve to come onto my YouTube channel and try to tell my people that I don't stand up for victims and insinuate that they don't care about victims either isn't someone I want anything to do with, especially not someone who is so passive aggressive and sanctimonious about it. I'm sorry for saying my people and making myself sound like Moses, but my people sounds less cultish than my followers. But then Laurel started telling others that she was working on Troy's case and said she was working with federal and state entities. She told people that I shouldn't put my videos out on social media about Troy's case because it could jeopardize an arrest. Well, that's a ridiculous statement. Because if Troy has done anything to get arrested, me putting a video out about it isn't going to change the fact that he's done something to get arrested. And I got the distinct impression that this mutual contact thought that Laurel was an attorney too. Then I heard from other people, and they said that Laurel had said the same thing to them. that she's an attorney working on Troy's case. And the more I reached out to people, the more I heard the same. She's told people she's graduated from law school and that her firm was working on the case. But here's the thing, Laurel is not an attorney. She's a paralegal and not a certified one at that. She has a bachelor's degree and began working as a paralegal the year after she graduated college. And she's worked at least 6 different companies as a paralegal in the past 4 years. And anyone can work as a paralegal. You don't have to have taken any type of law class. And it's very simple to verify if someone is an attorney. You just have to go to that particular state's bar association website and search for an attorney. That's what I did, and Laurel doesn't show up. Now, I don't know if what she's doing is technically illegal, and I'll leave that decision to someone else, but it's highly unethical. So let's look at some ways that a person pretending to be an attorney or pretending to be anyone with authority in a criminal case can be harmful. 1. False authority is dangerous. When people hear attorney or law degree, they automatically think that that person has access to insider information, that they have direct communication with law enforcement, and that they might actually have some influence over the outcome of cases. If you fake authority, people will hand you control you were never qualified to have. 2. False authority hurts victims. And this is the one that bothers me the most. If a person claiming to be an attorney tells a victim that they're working on a case for them, that is re-victimizing the victim, because then they're convinced that the person is actually working with law enforcement to have the perpetrator arrested. The victims can get their hopes up about progress in the case that actually doesn't exist. And to me, it's just cruel to do that to someone. 3, interfering with public awareness can backfire. Trying to stop me from making videos to protect the case might sound official, but it's only official if it's coming from an actual official. Public awareness gets people talking about a case, and I can't tell you how many people have messaged me about Troy Taylor. And if they share anything that law enforcement needs to know, I tell them. If an authentic authority asks me to stop making videos about a case, I will, but I'm not going to listen to someone who isn't authorized to make that decision. 4, false in one thing, false in all. And I mentioned this legal maxim in the video I made about the difference between compulsive liars and pathological liars. And that maxim means that a significant willful lie ruins a person's credibility across the board. So if someone is lying about being an attorney, what else are they lying about? Because that seems like a pretty big sunken lie to me. So if the solicitor can't be trusted with being honest about who they are, can they be trusted with anything anyone tells them? I know I wouldn't trust them enough to tell them any confidential information. 5, lying can discourage real authorities from engaging. Someone who's pretending to have authority and tries to reach out to the actual authorities can make a case seem chaotic and could keep agencies from engaging. And if someone contacts an agency with false information, especially if they do so repeatedly, it can cause credibility issues with the entire case. I don't know why this person has inserted herself into the case in this manner. Maybe it's attention seeking or a need for control. But I'm not going to play around with someone who cares so little about the truth that they'll inflate their importance in a case and in turn be the one who is actually risking contaminating it and hurting the victims. So I'm going to keep putting videos out about Troy Taylor, and as always, I'll verify the facts first. My first priority will always be the safety and protection of the victims. And I'll never tell you I'm anything more than a Midwest, middle-aged broad who wants to expose those who are hurting others. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and share. Until next time, stay safe and be happy.